Hello everyone. So I went to the shops today and I saw that they had the new Dior Sauvage very cool spray. Now this is a reinterpretation of the normal Dior Sauvage, one of their big sellers at the moment, and the idea here is, first of all, we've got it in a different bottle. It's in a deodorant style bottle and it's 100ml. It's I think the only size that it's available at, and my local Boots had it at £57 for 100ml here in the UK. So that's £10 cheaper than the RRP of the normal fragrance, which is £67, but sometimes is discounted. So this is an eau de toilette, but a very cool spray eau de toilette, okay? So the main difference is the packaging, but it's still an eau de toilette. And the notes have changed apparently with the addition, so Dior tell us, of the note of grapefruit to give extra freshness to the original fragrance. I think the other notes seem pretty much exactly the same. So I've got the very cool spray on here, and I've got the normal Dior Sauvage on this card. I tried them both out at the shop, and we're going to be seeing some images of that. And I've got the very cool spray on here. Basically, what I can tell you is the very cool spray is extremely similar to the original eau de toilette. They're both eau de toilettes. The very cool spray claims to be fresher. If you weren't thinking about it too closely and someone just sprayed the very cool spray and told you they'd sprayed Dior Sauvage on you, you wouldn't question it. It smells very, very similar with that bright opening. Having put them next to each other, yes, I think I did see, or smell I should say, that there is just a little bit more zinginess, a little bit more citrus in the very cool spray. So that could be a really good thing, because also I found that made it less noticeable that it had that kind of metallic ambroxan feel of the original Dior Sauvage. However, on the dry down, it's very similar on my arm to how I smell Dior Sauvage, the original, when I wear it. So on the card, they're both fading a bit, to be honest. This was about 4.5 hours ago that I sprayed them on. The new one, just a tiny bit fresher, really, really close. You can't even hardly call it a flanker, because it's just a tweaking of the smell, a tiny bit maybe, okay? To the point where I'm questioning, am I just imagining it? But yes, okay, I'm going to say that I detect a little bit more citrus freshness and a little bit more of the, a little bit less of the ambroxan note, okay? That's what I'm getting from this one. The most significant thing, if I'm honest, is the change of the packaging, which is all about branding, and they're probably looking to appeal to younger people who perhaps have been using body sprays and not actually aftershaves or colognes or eau de toilettes. And also maybe they're just giving us that idea that we just can throw it in our sports bag. Maybe people who just don't like the idea of wearing an aftershave or cologne or an eau de toilette to work or to the gym or in their everyday activities. You think, oh, I don't have that kind of, I don't need that poncy stuff, but they wouldn't mind just having a body spray. It seems more cool to them, maybe, if they're not into fragrances per se for men on a day-to-day basis. They're appealing to that market, and the fragrance is still very, very similar. I do perhaps slightly prefer it, I must admit, to the original Sauvage, just because it's got that little bit more freshness, and I like that, and I wasn't so crazy about the metallic ambroxan note. The other one that I found then, this was in Debenhams where I found these today, is the new Eau Sauvage Parfum. And this one, I did a video about how upset I was that they have changed, or they've reformulated Eau Sauvage Parfum, and they've said that the idea for Francois Demachy here was to bring it closer to the original Eau Sauvage, which is a 1960s cologne. You can still get it today in eau de toilette formulation. Lovely citrus aromatic fragrance. The Eau Sauvage Parfum, very much more dense and heavy than that one. It had the note of myrrh. It had a little hint of the original opening with the greenness of the bergamot that one had, but the only notes in the Eau Sauvage Parfum were bergamot, myrrh and vetiver, giving it a very dense resinous kind of feel with just a hint of green citrusness. The Eau Sauvage Parfum reformulation then for 2017, I did recognise it as similar to the 2012 version, the older version of Eau Sauvage Parfum, but it doesn't have that really dense character, but there is a very distinct similarity between the two. I would actually say that this new version is halfway between the Eau Sauvage Eau de Toilette and the old Eau Sauvage Parfum, so it's more fresh. It doesn't have the dense nature of the Eau Sauvage Parfum that was created in 2012 by Francois Demachy. For me, I'm a real fan of the 2012 version, absolutely love it, so I was disappointed that they discontinued it. However, viewing this one as a new creation, I'm going to give it a fair chance. It is a very nice fragrance. If you actually really like Eau Sauvage, the original, in its eau de toilette, and I do, but you find the performance a little bit lacking, it's a little bit too light for you, this one is quite close to that in smell, and hopefully will give us a bit better performance. I've only been wearing it for, you know, half a day. It's very much still present where I sprayed it on here, and on the card, yeah, it really smells definitely noticeably there, but you would hope so after only 4 hours. Yeah, so far it's about halfway between Eau Sauvage, the original, and the old Eau Sauvage Parfum. If you're looking to just re-up your bottle of the 2012 version of Eau Sauvage Parfum, definitely try and get a bottle of the proper old formulation before they all disappear. You can tell the difference between the two because the old one has a dark label all the way. The new one, the label's dark with that silver plaque in the middle there. That's how you can tell which one you're going to get. I much prefer the... Well, no, it's too early to say. I love the old one. I think it's fantastic, and the idea of going halfway between the two, don't know how much that appeals to me. However, if I just had to smell this, and there was no such thing as Eau Sauvage Parfum, only the eau de toilette, and they said this is the new Eau Sauvage Parfum, and there'd never been one before, I think I'd be interested in getting a bottle because they've hopefully given it a bit more strength with the eau de parfum concentration. It does have a little bit more density than the original eau de toilette. Very pleasant, lovely kind of citrus note there, and smells remarkably similar in a lot of ways to the Eau Sauvage Parfum that I know, but without that real heavy nighttime element. So it could be more appropriate as a daytime fragrance if you wanted to wear it as a signature scent all the time. I find the Eau Sauvage Parfum, though I love it, you know, I only wear it on nights out or occasions where it seems appropriate to be a little bit dressed up or wearing a fragrance that pushes out a little bit more. It's beast mode. Performance, don't know yet. First indication is at least pretty decent. Don't know if it's as strong as the other one. So those are my first impressions on these two interesting new releases from Dior. Has anyone else tried them? How interested are you in them? If you've tried them, let me know, and let me know your thoughts. Whatever you're doing in life, for goodness sake, let's project, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.